6.5 billion. That's how many views there are on YouTube's Shorts format every day. I couldn't believe it when I first read about it, but it's true. This format is a huge hit on YouTube. It's normal. It's a huge hit on other platforms too. And today we're going to try and understand, is it a good thing for us, the creators, to adopt this new YouTube Shorts format? You can imagine that with 6.5 billion views a day, YouTube isn't about to give up on Shorts. It's here to stay. And every day, YouTube tests new locations in the application to offer them to viewers, even in search results. For us creators, you can create Shorts directly in the YouTube application or by uploading them like a traditional video on your computer. Very quickly, for those who don't know, Shorts are short videos, maximum 60 seconds, that are displayed vertically in a separate interface and play on a loop. This is the kind of content that has great viral potential, and for us creators, it's a logical way of getting our YouTube channel discovered by a larger number of people. I tested the Shorts for 40 days. I posted 13 Shorts on a fairly regular basis with very different formats to test everything on my main channel. And in this video, I'm going to give you the conclusions of my experiment. So for this, I created the Shorts according to the two available interfaces, either by creating a vertical video and uploading it in the traditional way on YouTube, remembering in the title to put hashtag Shorts with an S, so that YouTube recognizes that it's a Shorts and not a traditional video. And I've also created Shorts directly in the application. In the application, here you have a little 15 that shows the maximum duration of your Shorts. So if it's 15 seconds, if you're thinking of making your Shorts longer, just press it and it'll turn into 60. You don't have to go all the way to 60 seconds, but it gives you a maximum. After that, we record the segments one after the other. You can change the filters before recording each segment, and as soon as you press stop, it moves on to the next segment and runs through all by itself. Once that's done, you can add text, you can recut little bits of segments, and you can add sound or music if required. And once all that's done, all you have to do is enter a title for the Shorts. No thumbnails, no descriptions, no tags. It's all very simple. If you're browsing YouTube and you want to integrate a bit of another video, you'll see a little button that says created with a little camera and a little music, so you can go straight to the Shorts interface and use a bit of audio from that video for the time being. The rest of the process is exactly the same. If you'd like to have a look at the Shorts I've produced, it's pretty quick, given that I've made 13 of them and they last a minute maximum. Just pause this video, click on my channel name and scroll down. There's a Shorts section. You can watch them one after the other, and if you've already seen them, or if you're not interested, we'll move straight on to the data analysis part. First of all, let's take a look at the views. You can see that on the first Shorts I released, there's a big spike just after publication. And that's for a very specific reason, namely that I hadn't unchecked the box notifying subscribers. So in fact, for YouTube, it was really like a normal video, and my subscribers would either receive a notification, or it would appear in their subscription feed, or on their homepage. And since a certain number of them weren't very happy about receiving very short formats, I decided after publishing 3 Shorts like that, to publish the others by unchecking the publish in subscription feed and notify subscribers box. As a result, my next Shorts received fewer negative comments and only my core community was affected. I can imagine pretty much the same people seeing my posts, for example. You can still see on the following Shorts that despite having unchecked this box, well, there were still around 200 views arriving in the first 24 hours, and which were in fact due to my subscribers seeing my Shorts appear on the homepage as a recommendation. All in all, out of the 13 Shorts I released, 3 really caught the Shorts algorithm's eye and had a very significant increase in views through the Shorts section. And I have to admit, it was actually quite exhilarating to see that, to see these videos all taking off like that. And 3 out of 13, that's a lot more than the average ratio I usually get on my channel. I'd hoped to find a common thread in the length of the videos or the type of video, but in fact I didn't. There was one that was 10 minutes long, and then there was one that was 10 minutes long. There's one that was 10 seconds long, one that was 27, and one that was 46 seconds long. The one was for entertainment, the others were more for information. So I'm having a really hard time trying to find a trend, which is rather good news. It means that, on the face of it, Shorts can take off on any type of content. It means we don't have to start making fools of ourselves or doing completely stupid things. I've done it and tried it out to see if it worked better or not. We can stay ourselves and do the same type of content as we do on our channel. Looking at the stats for the first 24 hours to try and understand why this one took off and the others didn't, I realized that the click-through rate, for example, has absolutely no correlation with whether a video does well or not, unlike traditional videos. On the other hand, the average percentage of videos watched is very, very, very important. The 3 that took off were in the top 4 on that statistic. We can also imagine that the proportion of likes per view counts, insofar as YouTube offers this in the analytics for Shorts. In short, as far as views are concerned, it's fair to say that Shorts are fulfilling their mission. In other words, in terms of discoverability, they're much better than regular videos. Now, were many of you saying to me when I told you that I was going to take stock? Is it, but does it bring in subscribers? Because it's a logical consequence of producing Shorts. So for my part, yes, I've gained subscribers, but in particular, I've gained a lot of subscribers on one Shorts, whereas the others were either 0, 1, or 2. And I confess, I don't really understand why this particular Shorts has attracted so many subscribers. So it's one of the ones that got a lot of views, a lot of new views, but the other 2 that got a lot of views in the Shorts section didn't bring me particularly more subscribers than the other videos. And it doesn't say anything about the quality of the subscribers either. Do these new subscribers who come via the Shorts also easily consume the rest of the content we're going to create afterwards? Or will they end up being a little more volatile, watching a bit of a video and then leaving? By the way, I'm wondering, are any of the people who discovered me and subscribed to my channel via Shorts now watching this video? If so, let me know in the comments because it would be interesting for the experiment. Then a little tactic you can try is that you can comment on your your own shorts. You have in the comments section in your YouTube studio, you put a comment and you can pin it. So why not use that comment to make a little call to action to ask people to either discover your channel or go and discover a long-form video that's associated with your content. Because yes, if someone looks at your shorts and starts to look at the comments section, it's because that person finds the content a little bit interesting and takes the time to read the comments and therefore probably has the time to discover a little bit longer video and discover your channel. So I think pinning a little comment with a link to your channel or to another video can be a good tactic. So a big fear that a lot of you have, and you've expressed it, is won't this have a negative impact on the rest of the videos on my channel? If I put out 5 shorts in a row and then put out a normal video, won't people who didn't want to see the shorts, Ben, be offered this normal video afterwards? As far as I'm concerned, I've seen no impact, neither hot nor cold, neither better nor worse. Mind you, this is based on a very small sample, given that only one video was released during the period when I was wearing shorts. But this video at the time it was released had 7,500 impressions in the first 24 hours, which is quite standard compared to the other videos I usually have on my channel. Again, neither better nor worse. But at that point, my first shorts video was just starting to take off. So maybe finally, now that it's a few weeks later and I have several shorts that have taken off well, this video too will get a lot more impressions in the first 24 hours. We'll see. In any case, I'll keep you posted on the live show we'll be doing on the first Monday of the new school year at 9 p.m. on Monday, and I'll be sharing the results of this experiment with you. After that, I'm rather dubious about the fact that it could have a positive impact by suggesting our videos to people who discovered us through the shorts. And why do I say that? Well, quite simply because I myself started consuming a lot of shorts to try and see what kind of content I could make from lots of different channels, and especially lots of channels. I knew absolutely nothing about them. And then when I logged onto my YouTube homepage, for example, I hardly ever, if ever, saw videos from these channels suggested to me. So I don't have the impression that the connection is being made between the YouTube Shorts algo and the algo for the rest of YouTube. But I could be wrong. And once again, YouTube's algorithms are constantly changing, especially for shorts. In my opinion, they're constantly testing things on a very, very, very regular basis, so it may well evolve over the next few months. Another question that may seem strange to you is, when will YouTube start recommending our videos in the shorts section? Because when you upload a video and put a little shorts hashtag, it's not automatic. YouTube is still going to have to check a few things before it can put it in the shorts section. But you can imagine that in 5 minutes, YouTube has done the little analysis with its machine and that it goes straight to the shorts section. But as far as I could see, the first views in the shorts section on the videos I uploaded appeared between 4 and 8 hours after the video went online. And even then, when they did, it was 2 or 3 or 4 views that went up very gradually. And in fact, in reality, the videos that really took off on the shorts section took off after 3, 4, 5 days. In fact, much later, very late, in relation to when the video went online. And apparently when I upload a video from the app, it's pretty much the same thing. It's not as if it was instantly tossed into the shorts section. No, YouTube is starting to test it, to put it on the home page of your community heart, and then, little by little, it's going to collect data and then maybe put it on the shorts. So the main fear I had, and which was also somewhat motivated by the initial feedback I got from the comments on my first shorts, was whether it would disappoint your community. Won't it be a nuisance for our current subscribers to throw around so many short formats that they haven't actually subscribed to? Because let's face it, shorts 30-second videos are extremely different from the content we usually produce on our YouTube channels. And on top of that, they're displayed on the home page. Even when we uncheck the little box so that it doesn't notify our subscribers, we still have a certain number who see them on the home page. And so in terms of the number of videos, it can quickly give the impression that in the end we're not making the same kind of video as before, that we're falling into the easy way out, making more than just short, funny videos, and that we're not at all making the advanced, polished content we used to. And that can be a bit bad for the image you want to project on YouTube. In my opinion, that's the biggest problem with YouTube Shorts today. Because yes, virality is the name of the game. As you've seen, we managed to get videos off the ground. But if that's at the expense of our community, the community we've been working and nurturing for years and creating in-depth content, well-crafted videos and all that, well, I don't think it's worth it. And above all, most YouTubers aren't going to adopt this new format if they're afraid that it might, quotation marks, damage their community or at least disturb it in some way. As a result, we could very quickly find ourselves with only TikTok copycat content in YouTube Shorts. If YouTube doesn't manage to find a solution to this separation of content, which in my opinion is necessary, then YouTube has already stated after the first few months that it will not be able to do so. Then YouTube has already stated after the first feedback that they wanted to make sure that the shorts weren't shown to people in our community and to our subscribers who didn't want to see them, including those who put on the little bell. Not show them all the shorts if they showed signs that didn't want to see those shorts. But I think it's more subtle than that. Because really, what happens if you follow a designer you really like? You watch almost every one of their videos. And if that designer creates shorts that you see on your homepage for the first time, you see a 30-second video. Obviously, you're thinking, this isn't the same content. I'm not sure I'll like it, but only 30 seconds. Generally speaking, you're in the mood and your curiosity is too strong. We tell ourselves we don't have much to lose. We'll click on them, we'll look at them. Since it's a designer we like, we'll watch the video all the way through. Maybe we'll even put in a comment to say it's a shame these formats aren't detailed or precise enough like you usually do. But overall, for YouTube, what kind of signal did we send? We clicked on it, we watched it all the way through. So YouTube is going to say to this person who loves shorts, let's put more shorts on. And I think it's very hard to resist resist watching 15 or 30-second videos when they're offered to us and when it's a creator we follow. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're interested in that content. And for me, that's where the ambiguity lies, in that we're going to end up with people who are going to be irritated, even cyclical without meaning to be, and who are going to say to themselves that it gives the impression that you only make videos like that anymore. And that's it. It's people who don't want to see this content, but who watch it anyway. And that's pretty bad for the image we wanted to create in the first place. A small example that pushes me to think in this direction is that, for example, before I put on shorts, there was a whole month where I hadn't published a video between two really big videos. I hadn't published anything for that whole month. I didn't have anybody, or maybe one or two comments saying, when are we going to see a new video? And that was it. And from the moment I started posting shorts, even after my last video, maybe a week or two after my last video, when I would post shorts, there were already people telling me, I said, no, it seems like ages since you posted a new video. Now you're doing more than just shorts and so on. I was starting to get little complaints like that. And what I mean is that the impression of a lack of videos seemed much greater because there were other mini videos interspersed, and I didn't see it that way. From the creator's point of view, I was thinking, well, I'm doing shorts again in addition to the normal videos, except that the proportion of shorts in relation to the proportion of traditional videos skews your viewer analysis a little, so to speak, and viewers get the impression that we're totally abandoning the YouTube format to make only shorts, and I don't think that's good. I think the impression is a bit the same as if I'd started doing 3 lives a week and released just one video a month. What I find interesting is that you don't get that feeling with posts or stories, but for me it comes from the fact that posts and stories don't interfere with the flow of videos post because it's a different format. So it's not a video anyway, so the distinction is well made in the brain, and stories simply because they're displayed in a separate shelf. And if you want to go and see them, you click on them, but otherwise they don't force you to go and see them, or at least they don't show them to you like normal videos. It's a bit of a click trap to show us a thumbnail with the other thumbnails, with the other long videos, except that it's actually shorts, and I find that there's a tricky side to it that doesn't do it any favors, just like YouTube shorts. Not to mention that in the video tab of your YouTube channel, it becomes a mess because shorts are also shown there. And so, for example, if you go and look at the time I'm releasing this video, or at least at my video tab, you'll see that there are shorts everywhere, stuff without thumbnails, vertical videos, and then here or there maybe a well-worked thumbnail. But in fact, you get the impression that this channel is a mess. All right, it's not usually very tidy either, but there's a bit more consistency all the same. During an exchange I had with the YouTube R&D teams recently, I suggested an idea that would be to separate the shorts content from the live videos. It's already separated in the YouTube studio because the formats are so different and are adapted to different viewing experiences. So if you log on to YouTube for 10 minutes, you're not going to watch a live video. Similarly, if you log on to YouTube for 1 minute, you're not going to watch a normal video. On the other hand, you might be open to seeing 3 or 4 or 5 shorts. So for me, they shouldn't be put in the same place, or at least kept in the video tab. Yes, but then have another menu that lets you select whether you're going to see the shorts, videos, or live shows exactly as they're organized in YouTube Studio. Is the effect that this has on us, the creators, that it blocks our desire to create shorts or to create lives? Because we think that if we do too much, well, it's going to make a mess everywhere, and then the viewers won't find their way around. There'll be too many notifications, etc. So I think it would be good to separate these things. We've talked about all these new views arriving on shorts, but I think it's also interesting to sit back and look at what this new audience looks like. So obviously it's going to be different for each of us, but I think the trends I'm seeing on my channel can be pretty well replicated on many of your channels. In terms of the gender split, I have 20% women, 80% men. That's very similar to what I have on the rest of my channel. However, in terms of age groups, it's very different. On my shorts, I got 75% of views from 18, 24-year-olds, compared with 22% on my normal videos. So that's huge. That's more than triple. And in terms of viewing platform, unsurprisingly, 99.6% of the views on the shorts were on mobile, whereas I'm usually at 46%. So to sum up, if you make shorts and they take off, you're going to reach and target a young audience on smartphones. And it's often an audience that US old YouTube geezers have a bit of trouble attracting. So really, it can be a good opportunity if we're willing to play the shorts game a little bit and adapt our formats and be creative and open our ears a little bit and say, well, why don't I try to create content that's a little bit different to try to attract a new audience? Speaking of different formats, is it easy to create shorts when you've never done one before, when all you've ever done is traditional videos? Well, let's face it, there's an obvious learning curve. I myself have only made 13 shorts. I'm far from having learned all the subtleties of short formats and what works well, the little mechanics that make people want to watch them or get interested or participate in the comments. So personally, having created all those little videos there, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, it's allowed me to create videos in a less restrictive way, and I find that it takes a big thorn out of my brain. But it's usually in the foot, the thorn, but it does remove a big difficulty because you don't have to process files on a camera, you don't have to edit on professional software, you don't have to put in credits, you don't have to create a thumbnail. These are all things you don't need to worry about. And finally, it's easy to say, I've got a creative idea, a nice little thing, I'll take 10 minutes, shoot it, edit it, and publish it. And that's not possible with traditional videos, which often take a lot more time and work. And in a way, I find that it's a bit liberating for certain creative things, especially in this format. It's also allowed me to let loose a little of my crazy side because you don't know me too well. You know me a bit serious in videos, I let loose a little more live, but it's still limited. But in real life, I like to have a bit of a laugh on a regular basis, and I find it hard to get that across in my YouTube videos. So somewhere in shorts, I manage a little better. Anyway, in the end, I figure I've had a lot of fun doing all these short formats, so I figure why not keep going. But I could continue on this platform if there were certain changes to the platform, and we'll talk about that later. I could continue on other platforms in parallel, but we'll talk about that afterwards too. Let's get back to you. First of all, is creating shorts a good idea for you in terms of the types of content you make and the types of creators you are? First of all, I know that a lot of you have YouTube passion channels, and I was quite surprised to see that you could produce educational, informative, and even intelligent content. We're trying to figure out who would perform well in shorts. And that goes against the whole idea of shorts, which is, yeah, but it's necessarily hyper-entertaining stuff for the super young, and you can't get the message across inside. For example, it's necessarily stuff that's a bit stupid. And I wanted to draw your attention to the fact that, remember what the TV said about YouTube a few years ago. They said that YouTube had boiled down to its most basic idea, that is, young people in their bedrooms making jokes, whereas we had already known, by creating content on the platform for a long time, that there was a lot more to it than that. Well, I think we have a bit of the same old fart attitude on our side, judging a new format that we don't know, that we haven't mastered, and imagining that it's bound to be a very entertaining thing for young people, and that we can't do anything serious about it. Right there. In any case, my stats show that the opposite is true, that we're capable of doing things that are a bit serious and that work well. And that's something we're also seeing on TikTok. In fact, TikTok is diversifying like never before. And there's more and more serious content that works in short formats, as long as we manage to understand and create mechanics that work well in this type of short format. So I tend to think that any type of content creator can try their hand at making shorts, and that there isn't one type of creator where you can say, oh no, that's never going to work. No, you've got to go for it. Now, what kind of content can you make? Well, if the aim is to get people to discover your channel, I'd say you should rather make content that brings the same kind of value as your long videos. So make them shorter or simpler or more fun. But on the whole, the idea is for us to do a little bit of the same thing. On the YouTuber's Corner, my shorts, generally there was a strong idea, and the idea was to follow this idea in a certain way, either entertaining or informative, but in the end we learned something. After that, just like on your main channel, you have to test different things and see what works and what doesn't. The main thing is to find out what works and what doesn't. You've got to learn from it. The main thing is to experiment, and above all, to try and see what will generate reach, that is, get your shorts discovered by lots of people. In any case, that should be your goal until you have a loyal audience for your shorts specifically. By the way, is it possible to get a loyal audience for shorts? Because after all, after 13 shorts, knowing that my first shorts, which got off to a good start, was in the top 2 or 3, I should normally have a fairly loyal audience by now. Well, at the moment, I don't see it at all. I've had almost 2,000 unique viewers on the various shorts I've released since the shorts section. And today, when I release new shorts, I find that there are barely 10 views or so on the shorts when I have a video that doesn't take off. So that means that even people who have watched and enjoyed the old shorts don't even suggest the new shorts I release. So this community aspect, which is very important for our YouTube channels, doesn't seem to be very present, at least not today in the shorts recommendation algorithm. So should I stop or continue? Well, for the moment, I'm stopping. Why should I stop? Well, you guessed it, simply because I'm not at all happy with the way shorts are currently implemented on the platform. Because treating shorts videos like normal videos doesn't make sense to me. Because on the one hand, it's not a community tool like stories, posts, or lives, but it's still content that's fundamentally different from the long, polished videos we can make on our YouTube channel. So why insist? To put them together and mix them. So as far as I'm concerned, until this problem is solved, I'm going to stop making shorts, or at least I'm going to put the brakes on. The idea is that if I publish shorts, they'll be a minority compared with the rest of my content. Am I thinking of getting back into it later? Yes, definitely, completely. As soon as it's actually separate, then yes, completely I'll go and do them. I even asked myself the question. I know a lot of people have done that, to start a channel specifically for shorts and try as best they can to bring people back to my main YouTube channel, but I think it's going to be a bit complicated. So as soon as I publish a shorts, it doesn't send a notification to my community, it doesn't appear on the homepage mixed in with all the other videos, and it doesn't appear in my video feed above all. Right now, I go back to making shorts as soon as I know that when I make a short, it only appears in the shorts section, just like when I make a story. It only appears in the story section and ultimately YouTube if you want to push shorts to my current community. In that case, as soon as I release a shorts, put the shorts section first in the recommendations to show that the first shorts, well, it's a shorts from the YouTuber's Corner. But don't put it like normal videos and don't mix genres. I think I've said this often enough. I think the message is getting through. So now I have a proposal to make to YouTube. I don't know if it's feasible at all. I don't even know if it's desirable, but I think it might not be silly. It would be to have a second, slightly parallel subscription system where, for example, you could subscribe to the YouTuber's Corner. And like the little bell, you could have a little S next to it that says, I want to receive all new videos and I want to receive all new shorts. You can click on that, and in the same way, you could subscribe only to the YouTuber's Corner shorts and not to the traditional videos if you prefer shorter formats. This would create a community spirit in the shorts section precisely for people who prefer to consume short content. And I don't think that would be silly at all. And above all, it would enable you to move up a bit in the face of the competition, where this community aspect is developing well, as I've been able to test by posting these videos on Instagram and TikTok. So how are things going with Reels, Instagram, and TikTok? It's actually 13 videos. I've also posted them on a brand new account on TikTok and on my Instagram account, which has about 1,000 followers. But there's not a lot of engagement. To see how it worked a little bit on the different platforms. So first of all, on Instagram, the Reels feel like they have a crazy reach. Every single reel. What I posted generated over 2,000 views almost on average. But when you look at the engagement, the number of people who liked, the number of people who commented, it's about double what I usually do on a classic post. So in fact, the extreme majority of views are probably unwanted views. In other words, it's displayed and something's moving in the corner, but the person may not even have their eyes on the video. So I think that, in fact, the stadiums are highly biased, and in any case, in my opinion, the reels aren't all that interesting, especially as I haven't managed to get one that's gone viral in terms of new subscribers. It's brought me 0. And in terms of interactions in the comments, well, they were the same people who interact with my posts or my stories. From my point of view, TikTok is more interesting. The first video I posted on a blank account with 0 views, 0 subscribers was shown over 500 times. I had over 500 people see my first video on TikTok. It generated a few comments, a few likes, a few subscribers, and I think it's very clever of TikTok to say right from the start that as soon as you publish your first TikTok, hop on, we'll put it in front of lots of people so that we can get motivated and say, wow, there's potential there. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to make others. And I think that's pretty smart of them. But after that, I didn't have that many other videos that took off, even though they all generated 150,200 views, which is quite a lot. When you're just starting out, there's one that got 700 views recently, but didn't get much interaction. But so overall anyway, I started with a blank account, posted 13 short videos, and generated 333 likes and 49 subscribers. So I've already built up a bit of a community, and that's not bad at all. So in terms of organic reach, when you start from scratch, it's probably the best of the 3 platforms. But at the end of the day, compared to the types of content we're used to doing, I think I'm convinced even that the best growth opportunity you have today is to get into YouTube Shorts. Because from the little experience I've had, it's the only platform that brings you YouTube-style viewers, that is, viewers that are regular over time, that will be displayed for a very long time, and that will bring you regular traffic to your channel. So yes, the first few days may not be crazy. Your first few shorts may not bring you any extra views, but the moment you have one that takes off, it really takes off, especially right now. There's not too much content yet. There's room to grow in this segment. The only downside, but not the least, is your community and the community you already have on your YouTube channel. Take care of it, listen to it, uncheck the little box when you publish shorts so that they don't all get notified. And above all, if at any point you feel in the comments, in the responses, in the interactions that your community is starting to lose interest in the shorts formats, then stop. In short, as always, test and adapt. Is every channel different? And the advice I've given you here applies to my channel, but it could be totally different for your channel. I hope for your sake that it works out even better than it did on my channel. In any case, I'll have shared my little experience with you on my little YouTube channel, which I hope will have convinced you to at least give shorts a try. Once again, I'm not asking you to go and watch another video, but I'd like to encourage you to check out my playlist with all the shorts I've created, to see the different interactions that have taken place on them, to see how the interface is set up, and to give you an idea of the type of content that can be created and see if it gives you any ideas. See you there. Ciao.